Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Center for Practical Spirituality, where we get you started for the whole entire week, month, quarterly, every 6 months, which is bi-yearly, and then, of course, for the whole entire year. So let's go ahead and get started. And let us begin by saying together, God is all, both visible and invisible. One presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. I am ever one with this perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. And so it is. And so it is. So let's go ahead and get started straight into our lesson today. Let me see if I can find what I'm looking for right here. Yes, we have found it. Okay. So today is the solution is the consciousness. And whenever we're talking about consciousness, we're talking in reference to, the things that we are commanding, quote unquote, in the consciousness. What we're commanding is going to be in the visible realm. Okay. And so the unconscious is those things that end up coming up without us even thinking about it. It's something that is already at a deep programming area. So let's go ahead and let's review in reference to the solution is consciousness. Our healing does not lie in the subtraction of our pain, but in the realization of our wholeness. Angel Hoodoo Williams. So I really want for us to think about that. Many times when we're here on this earth, as spiritual beings having a human experience, one of the things that we continue to say is, oh, no. I don't want to be suffering. I don't want to go. Well, suffering actually helps us to, when we look at it from a different perspective, when we make a conscious decision and we say that only good is going to come from all of this that we are experiencing, all of the things that are actually occurring, it is for our very best and highest good. And we are going to a new level of consciousness and awareness. So whenever we go through a particular tragedy or we go through a particular experience, if you just exist in that moment and allow it to reveal to you what the lesson is, all of a sudden you're going to be able to understand. Now I understand why this actually happened. It was for a greater good. A particular relationship that I was in, but this was 20 years ago. I would say that recently, I would say maybe about a year and a half ago, all of a sudden I had an epiphany from out of the blue that the reason I was actually in that relationship was not for the guy, was not for myself, it was more for his mother. How about that? And so I now understand the bigger picture. And I was thankful for it. Okay. In Ernest Holmes' The Science of Mind, this is what it says. Anything you can dream of is not too great for you to undertake if it hurts no one and brings happiness and good into your life. So, number one rule, if it is not hurting anyone, then it is by birthright and divine right that you have this. If it is hurting people, it is not something that is to be continued, because if it hurts someone, then it is going against the natural law. The solution to any problem we face, individually or collectively in consciousness, it is the level of our consciousness that brings about the effects we see in the external world. All external experiences have a direct relationship with consciousness. All external experiences, that which we're experiencing in the outer world, okay, has a direct relationship with our consciousness. So if you are vibrating in lack mentality, that I do not have this and I do not have that and I don't blah, 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 guess what you're going to create more of? Exactly what you have been focusing on, the lack mentality. But if you have a mentality of where, you know, it's prosperous thinking, avalanches of abundance, you're surrounded by people of integrity, you know, and you love integrity and integrity loves you, and you are a higher level of consciousness. I'm going to say something out loud. Your inner circle is going to be smaller than what it was before, by the way. Just saying, okay? From a human standpoint, we assist in causing all the effects that we see. From a humanistic standpoint, we ourselves, we are the cause of all of the effects that we see. This may directly or indirectly, but we are never neutral. So we have to understand that we're a part of the collective. So that which we fear, it's kind of like we're going to bring about into our lives. So whatever you're focusing on, and you continue to say, oh, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this, and you continue to say, I don't want this, what are you focusing on? On what you don't want. But what do you want is the question. What do you want? You want success, you want love, you want prosperity, you want respect. Well, then guess what you have to start doing? You have to respect yourself. You have to start seeing yourself surrounded by people that are going to elevate you. You have to start seeing yourself in already done mode. It would appear that the current level of collective consciousness on this planet is deeply cemented in the concept of survival. In other words, be as concerned as you can with yourself and your immediate family unit. As a consciousness moves out from the center of self, less concern is given. The level of consciousness fuels division, conflict, and suffering. Imagine if we ascended into consciousness, resurrected to a Christ-like level. Imagine if we shifted from survival to compatibility, where my well-being and the well-being of people on the other side of the world whom we'll never meet are just as important as your well-beingness, where the well-being of the earth and the future generations is just as important as the well-being of your closest family member today. In other words, we're no longer in the ego, but we're in the spirit realm. And what we're doing is we're now projecting and seeing and manifesting, demonstrating and attracting what we desire, not just for ourselves, but for our future selves. Also for those that are going to be coming in other words, our children. How are we leaving this world, as Stephen Covey stated, even better than when we first entered it? How are we leaving this world better than when we first entered it? Because we will exit. Our souls, our spirits, we are going to exit this world. You know, and we have a body. We have a human shell. We are spiritual beings. We are spirit. And when we come to understand this truth, all of a sudden, we understand that we're merely remembering our true selves. It continues here. This level of consciousness fuels division, conflict, and suffering. Imagine if you ascend into consciousness and resurrected as a Christ-like level. And I repeat that because I want for us to remember that we are Christ consciousness in action. A consciousness of compatibility is the key to the new paradigm. And this level of consciousness can only come from within you. So for myself, one of the things that I am focused on and that I truly work on a daily basis is, how am I impacting others so that we can leave this wonderful world that we live in today even better than when I first arrived? And so it is now becoming a little bit more cumbersome than usual, but, okay, and there really is no but. It is cumbersome, period. This is what I do know, though. From a subconscious level, we are reprogramming the cosmic subconscious mind and elevating and saying that we are worthy and that we are oneness. And when we are at that oneness and that we are worthy, all of a sudden we understand that even those on the other side of the world deserve to be in love, joy, perfect divine health, and that everyone in this whole entire world, animals, plants, the whole entire universe, is worthy of being in divine right order and divine alignment. When we understand that we are impacting, our mere energy is impacting, those that pass our office, those that pass us up in the vehicles, we can be, that wonderful beacon, that wonderful light, that is shining so that those that are needing to be uplifted, those that are needing to find a place where they can feel rejuvenated, replenished, renewed, you are that wonderful light. And then they'll be able to find it. The solution is consciousness. Everything I do this day adds to the well-being of all humans on this planet. And not just humans. I'm talking about human, animal, air, soil. I'm talking rocks. The whole entire kit and caboodle. It's not just going to be the human. It's going to be the whole entire earth. And then from the earth, it goes into the planets. From the planets, it goes to the stars. From the stars, it goes to the galaxy. From the galaxy, it goes to the universe. And from the universe, goes to the next universe. And right now, I know and I understand that the other universes that are out there, they are working to make sure that this universe, that these planets, that this earth continues to have that beat of love and light. By the way, my consciousness is expanding and I am ascending. We are all ascending to a new level of consciousness and awareness, regardless if you believe it or not. Many are kind of like, no. Well, no. Oh, yes. The things that we used to understand of yesteryear, no more. It is now a new level of understanding, a new level of consciousness, and those that are needed on the other side are being called for the greater mission, by the way. So if you're wondering why so many people are actually exiting this world right now, is because they're being called for a greater cause. FYI. But just as people are being exited, some people are coming in. Some souls are coming in so that they can actually attribute to the higher consciousness that we are elevating to. I hope today you were able to understand, today's lesson, and that it gives you some kind of comfort and light and wonderful, just some kind of, new insights in many senses. And so, there we go. Now it opened up. Hold on. I'm trying to open this up without tearing it. And for some reason or another, there we go. I'm trying to make sure that it kind of opens up because I have a specific book. And so this book just didn't want to open up appropriately. True freedom. Our freedom is in the knowledge that we are daughters and sons of God. Through the Christ within, we may claim sonship and daughtership. If the Son of God, the daughter of God, therefore shall make you free, ye shall be free indeed. What is freedom? What is freedom? Whenever I really want for you to understand that we were given free will, and free will ends up being the power of choice. When you exercise, utilize, execute, enunciate, speak out loud what you are wanting, that is you putting into action exactly what God, what Jesus went ahead and gave to us so many years ago. And that is free will. When you make a choice, that's when the universe conspires to make it happen. In other words, you state, oh, I want a hamburger. Guess what? Then all of a sudden, it may not be right there and then, but there may be a few days later, or maybe, by tomorrow, all of a sudden, a hamburger comes. Or if you state, I want an apple. You can taste the apple. You can see the apple. You can savor the apple. You can hear the crunch of the apple. And guess what? In a few days, you're going to have an apple. When you tell the universe, when you tell Dumbo ears, which is God, Mother, Father, God, and you say to them, this is what I want. And that you know it because you can feel it, you can see it, you can taste it, you can, savor whatever it is. All of a sudden, it happens. So, true freedom is going to be to state exactly and to know what you want. Psalm 51:12. Uphold me with thy free spirit. Uphold me with thy free spirit. 1 John 3:21. Beloved, if our heart condemn us not, then have we confidence towards God. The only person that condemns us is ourselves. At this point, it's unconditional love. And when we get to that understanding and acceptance, all of a sudden life changes. On John 8:32, I'm going to leave you with this one. Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you what? Free. When you speak the truth, when you are in the truth, when you accept the truth, when you embrace the truth, all of a sudden, your freedom is front and center. So speak the truth, be the truth, embrace the truth, acknowledge the truth, and surround yourself with those that tell the truth. Because all of a sudden, you will be free. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to go ahead and let you be. I look forward to seeing you next Sunday. And let's continue to embrace and love the wonderful rain that's here in Texas, especially in San Antonio. We were really needing it, and we thoroughly love it, most definitely. So let us go ahead and hold our tithes and our offerings in our hands. And let us go ahead and also our prayer requests. If you have any special prayer requests, please put them into our thread or message me, and we'll go ahead and uplift those particular special requests. Let us hold our tithes and our offerings in our hands, and let us say, divine love in me, as me, and through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. And so it is. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see each other next Sunday. Have a great weekend and a great week. May the power of the Father, the love of the Son, and the freedom of the Holy Spirit be with you today and always. And so it is. I'm ready for a miracle. I'm ready for a miracle. I'm ready for a miracle today. I've got my mind in tune for one. I'm ready to experience one. I'm ready for a miracle today. My mind is open, ready to receive it. My heart is opened all the way. I do accept a miracle. I do accept a miracle. I do accept a miracle today. I do receive a miracle. I do receive a miracle. I do receive a miracle today. Very good, very good. Yay! I love you guys. See you next week.